Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is the final Dirty Depths video of Dark Souls PvP at low level. It's going to have a combination of, well, exactly what you're seeing right now. Occasions where I catch new players off guard, I catch old players off guard, I run into people ridiculously high leveled, I do silly things, I get myself into silly situations like this one here, where this guy's guarding the ladder and knocking me down. Then Joel, affectionately tells me I don't have time for it, so I run all the way around and he's still waiting, and then I backstab him down the ladder and then plunge attack him. So yeah, I'm a really nice person. But if I sound a little strained on the throat, guys, I was out drinking the other night, so you'll have to bear with me. Nothing I can do, and I do need to do this commentary because I haven't put any Dark Souls up in a while, and people really enjoy my Dark Souls stuff, so, I want to bring as much of it as I can. I just want to do it in an intelligent way. So this is me coming up against somebody who could be higher level than me. They've got a couple of stacks of WoG, they're wearing the Dust Crown, they've got a Claymore. Their life isn't too high, and apparently they don't know what Lloyd's talismans do, though. Rolls forwards, spams a little bit too much. I catch them with a backstab. Throw another Lloyd's, but I don't think it landed. No, it didn't. I don't understand Lloyd's sometimes. I think they tweaked them at some point, and it became more difficult to do the wake-up Lloyd's unless you threw it in front of them, which is not that difficult to do, but sometimes you just don't think to do it. This here as well, guys, this is me failing to do post-parry Hornet swaps, because I was practicing to do it, because this footage is quite old, it's a couple of months old, so you're going to get some clips where I'm literally just trying to get the rhythm down, trying to learn the muscle memory, so I could do it in a couple of videos. This is me just being a silly bastard, as you can see. Sometimes when people start running away, I just chase them, and it's funny watching them panic and start running to try and get away from you. I don't know, like, I was guilty of taking Dark Souls really far too seriously for a long time, because I thought it meant something. I wanted to be a good player, I wanted to get better, I wanted to learn the game, I wanted to come up against other good players, but I wanted it to have diversity, so I didn't want it all to be arranged, because I think when you're arranging fights, it's all good and well, but there's an awesome adrenaline and fun about just the randomness of Dark Souls and finding that challenge that you weren't expecting. Because when you play with friends, you know you're going to get a challenge because your friends are good. Like, I'm always excited by bumping into one by accident in the Berg or in an invasion where you meet somebody and they know what they're doing. So for a long time I was, I adhered to like the honor standards. I like to fight in a very specific way. And over time, as I played more Dark Souls, I just kind of lost that, that seriousness. And a lot of people don't understand that. They seem to think you're being a hypocrite because you're not adhering to old standards, And if you're a YouTuber and you make any kind of video on an online system, you're not allowed to have a progressive opinion. It's kind of crazy, actually. Like, you will forever be judged by an opinion that you expressed in your very first video, and you might make 1,000 videos, and in video 1,000 you've learnt so much in your time that your opinions gradually changed as you've been exposed to things you possibly didn't know or didn't see in your inexperience and naivety. And it's just one of those weird things where sometimes there's nothing anybody can do, and I think that's one of the main motivators for myself to lose a lot of the standards that I had before. Like, I haven't lost them all, and I'm not trying to offend people that have them. It's just a case of, like, this series is a perfect example. This is literally me playing Dark Souls as it's intended. I'm invading and I'm killing people. There's no pretense, there's nothing behind it. It is at low level, which has a bit of a stigma because a lot of people enjoy doing something which is known as twinking, which I get accused of it on almost every video I've made in my low level series, but that just tells me that that player doesn't know how to play Dark Souls, because like, the only thing that's even remotely close to an unfair advantage is the fact that I have 99 humanities on the top left, which come from how many invasions I've done, and the defense boost that they give you is quite high, But if you come up against someone who has an upgraded weapon, it doesn't matter. The only people that really suffer from defense are the people who don't have upgraded weapons, and the people who don't have their armor upgraded. Like, you will see from various examples in this video and in other videos, if somebody has a weapon and they know how to upgrade it, I can die in 2 to 3 hits. If they don't, it's a different story. That's not twinking, that's just knowledge, guys. Like, a twink is somebody who comes here with a fucking boulder side sword that's like plus 5 elemental, and he's got a stack of fully ascended pyromancies, and he's just being a dick. He's stacking poise, he's wearing armor that's you know, high and stuff. They're the twinks. They're the people that are just coming to one shot. The only reason I did this series was A, because I got a lot of funny and silly experiences, and B, because the traffic was constant. And the title of this is Final, and it's final for a reason, because the traffic isn't constant anymore. So I moved on, I went elsewhere. I'm currently invading in Anorlondo at about level 50, and I was having a lot of traffic there, but then that's kind of slowed down a bit. And, like, even the forest is slowed at the moment, so Dark Souls is in a bit of a sorry state. I mean, you can still get traffic, and there's still people on. It's just on my connection, and on the times that I've tried, I don't seem to get anybody. But that's just me. Maybe some others. This looks like somebody who's looking to PvP. And as you can see, that rapier that they were using, doing a lot of damage to me. It's just not everybody has the skills or the knowledge to get, you know, strong on Dark Souls, which is one of the main reasons I think I don't understand everybody's proclivity towards summoning phantoms. Because in spite of my time with Dark Souls, my opinion on phantoms has never changed, you know. A lot of people who do co-op are co-opers, and that's completely understandable. Playing Dark Souls with your friends is fun. Anybody can understand that. The ones that confuse me are the ones that just pull 2 randoms. You know, they can't be bothered to learn the boss or to learn the part they don't like, so they just pull in a couple of randoms and they just gank it and they smash it through sheer numbers. That confuses me a lot, that. And I can understand, you know, being fun playing with strangers. I just can't understand, you know, not wanting to better yourself, because that to me just doesn't make any sense. This encounter here is Lag City. Like, this is a Solaire and a dude who I've caught before they go to Gaping Dragon, and there's, like, this is one of those fights where you could probably put the pad down and have equal success, because look what's happening. He's a mile away from me, and he's hitting me with constant katana slashes, and I'm trying to do my post parry on him, which I didn't land, and I'm getting bled and comboed from a mile away, and you're just wondering, how does this even happen? And all those people thinking Dark Souls 2 is going to be different because of dedicated servers are lying to yourselves, guys. Completely. Like, servers will help, but they'll not get rid of that, you know. Technology is just not there yet. But hopefully in 5 years, maybe 10 years, it'll be perfect. But somebody noted as well in one of my earlier videos that I fight like a bitch on these. And their translation of fighting like a bitch is using a bow and throwing dung pies and daggers and things. It's poisoning, essentially. Poisoning seems to be looked down upon a lot. I don't understand why. It's one of the things that is overlooked as a strategy. Like, getting poisoned is one of those things where it doesn't do a lot of damage, it isn't much of a threat, until you don't realise you are, or you're still poisoned, and then it suddenly becomes one. Poison is one of those things where, when you first get poisoned, you're like, oh, this doesn't really mean anything. But then if your life gets low, it kind of means something. You know, the amount of people I've seen try to flask and they've died because the poisons killed them before they could is you know, too many to count. So, like, I can understand being frustrated at getting poisoned, but just pop a moss if it's bugging you so much. You know, that's one of the cool things about Dark Souls, is there's generally a counter to almost everything. And I say almost everything because certain things will always catch you. Like this here, how I'm not stunning this guy with a two-handed swing from a Moonlight Greatsword just confuses me. But I suppose that's what happens every so often. And my Curse Frogs are not faring too well. But I wanted to do a lot of invasions with this particular build, but I found that even with a level 1 Moonlight Greatsword, the majority of the people I hit it with just couldn't survive it. So it took away a lot of my enjoyment of the low level stuff. Because I was live streaming this build and people looked in my inventory when I was going through it, and I had 5 swords, each one level, you know, level 1, level 2, all the way to 5, and they wondered why I'd done that, and my reasonings for it was so that I could moderate which sword I was using to the defense of who I was fighting. Because if I've learnt anything in my time in the sewers and at low level, is you come across people all over the level spectrum. Like, I carry on this, not on this build, but I carry a bandit's knife that's elemental, a +5 bandit's knife, and I don't use it for anything but ganks and high level players. And my reasoning for this is, when there's more than one person and I'm trying to, you know, kill a phantom and the host is just flasking and flasking and flasking, and a lot of the times I don't have Lloyds, because, you know, I was getting so many invasions here, guys, that I was using every single consumable I owned. We're talking all my Lloyds, all my dung pies, all my knives, everything, all my blossoms. You know, I've probably done over 2,000 low-level invasions, easy, because they were so quick, and I spent hours doing them. And I had a lot of fun too. And I like to think my subscribers have enjoyed these videos, because when I put them out, they're almost overwhelmingly positive, which is always a good thing. This is an interesting fight. You'll notice I've got a wolf ring on. Don't usually put wolf ring on low level. I try to have small amounts of poise, but this guy was an exception, because you'll notice when backstabbing me didn't work, he went to trying to just do the old Brandon technique of swing away with a buff on, and it was just one of those really weird fights, because I'm using, I think, a +1 scimitar, and I just could not get his life down quick enough, and it was really annoying me. Like, look at that, 58 damage on an R2. Like, 177 damage on a backstab, and this guy's probably got 900 life. So, it was one of those fights where the fight before this was probably somebody really low level who I fought and who died really quickly because my weapon was strong. So I thought, oh, I'll put on a weaker weapon because I feel kind of bad. And then you bump into this guy who the weak weapon is just not working because he's flasking, you know, he's buffing his weapon, he's doing all what he can to win, and we're trading backstabs, and it's just that really frustrating moment of, well, this is going nowhere, and even landing parries and backstabs, and I'm just like, I'm not in the mood for this, so I run away and I come back with a big sword. And on this build, this is my fuck you weapon. This is a +15 Zwei, and it means business. So he's going to go for the setup parry, but I think it's either his bad timing or the way I was unlocking that stopped him from getting anything. And I nearly one-shot him with the backstab. Oh, I do one-shot him with the backstab, I'm just lagging so badly that he stands up and I was confused. But, you know, Dark Souls is a very strange game, and it's one of the main reasons I love it. I'm just having a bit of a trouble at the moment going back, because I've been playing games with good frame rates, and every time I go back to Dark Souls on 360, it's like being punched in the face repeatedly, you know, by someone you love. It really is. It's like a beautiful wife just hammer fisting you, because I love the game, but it performs like shit. It really does. The only place it doesn't perform like shit is PC. And I can't play my PC version because my DS fix is fucking it up. So every time I load it, it crashes my game. And I tried to do the Gravelord mod, and that was crashing my game with the cheat engine. And, like, something that worked flawlessly isn't working flawlessly. And because my PC knowledge is lacking, and I don't like changing things for fear of breaking things, you know, I've just kind of get up on PC. And, like, even if I did get it working again, there's barely any traffic on PC because it's the smallest community, even though it does have people who want to play, and I never had a good connection with anybody. You know, I got very little in the ways of traffic when I did play. I got nothing in the forest. I got like 2 forest invasions. It's just not cool, man. But like, this is a good example of a low-level Moonlight Greatsword. Because I think when people see the Moonlight Greatsword, they think, well, how the hell have you got that? That's an end-game weapon. Well, this build the only thing I've leveled up is the intelligence and whatever else you need. I think it's strength for the base stats for that weapon, so that I can hold it. Everything else is base, so I think this guy is level 23. And it's a really fun build to use because it's a hit and run guy. I think I'm going to make one at 120 and try doing some forest stuff. It's just in the forest is where I'm definitely going to have to get efficient with my toggles, because if I don't, I'm just going to get destroyed. But I've not played Dark Souls now for a couple of weeks. And I've been busy with a lot of stuff. I'm trying to get into Injustice, but the online is... Like, I thought the learning curve on Dark Souls was high, but Jesus Christ, Dark Souls is not always filled with people who have got thousands of hours of experience. Like, what I could compare it to is you've just got Dark Souls and you're interested in PvP, and every time you invade, you're finding a fight club. That is literally what it's like doing ranked matches on Injustice Online. Like, I haven't even got a character I'm comfortable with, and people are just shit-fisting me. So... I'm going to try and get some subscribers who are good at Injustice so that we can do some fights, and they can beat me up, and they can, you know, help me get used to things like lag and spacing and learning how to counter stuff and how to react and how to effectively block and all that goodness, which you don't really get against a computer, and you don't really get all that much when you're fighting against people that just juggle you till you die. But this is interesting. That guy's using a Lucerne, and latency is a problem at this moment in time. This build is exceptionally low on poise, so a lot of times you're going to see me toggling even when the people aren't near to me, just in case I get lag hit. That right there's one of the things I will forever hate about Dark Souls, but have to forever accept. You know, backstabs happen. Sometimes they don't make any sense. Well, you know, 90% of all backstabs don't make any sense, man. This looks like a PvPer. He's got the Dark Wraith helmet on. They've got a 40 poise. They're using a Silver Knight Spear. Crest Shield. You know, they've got the old fashion souls at work. They're looking pretty interesting. And unfortunately, I don't know how much higher this person is than me, but the damage on that dagger then was really lacking. But that makes sense. It is a... Oof, look at that. Half my life in one hit. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. Get him, Flame Guy! Do him! Get him! Yes! I love those invasions. Those are the ones where you get accused of being mean or a bully, but they're the ones that I think are hilarious. That right there is a mistake. I would like to sincerely apologise to that guy. I did not realise I had the dagger on. And it happens quite a lot, that, because I've carried the sidearm for people who are significantly higher than me, I've got into the habit of toggling when I parry, on parry sometimes, to swap to a more devastating weapon. And then you come up against Timmy, you know, Timmy level 2, who's running around with his base equipment, and you feel bad. And I try to say to myself things like, well, if I'd have riposted him with the S-Stock, it still would have done a lot of damage because of the critical value. It's just... I don't think anybody enjoys being one-shot by anything. It's just not fun. Like, that guy didn't enjoy getting beat up, apparently. So he left. Which, like, I don't even leave that way, because that's just quitting now. That's not even black crystaling out. If you've got the space and the time to black crystal out, you've earned that. And I don't mind people who leave when they crystal. I think that's honourable, if anything. But if you just quit, or you turn your box off, or your dashboard, I think that's about as bitchy as it gets. And, you know, I'm not really in the... You know, in the profession of passing judgment on people's playstyles anymore, because I really don't care how people choose to play. I'll say things that I think is crappy or what I don't agree with, but I don't want them to stop doing it because they're just going to do it more. That's what I've learned. You know, when I aspired for higher things on Dark Souls, for it to be almost like a fighting game, I was constantly disappointed. And the best thing to do, guys, if you're having trouble with the bullshit online on this game, is to just care less about, you know, the idealized version of it. And if you can't do that, just fight other people looking to, you know, not one-shot you with a modded Crystal Greatsword. You know, I love this guy. I want to apologise to him as well. Obviously, because I'm toggling to get out of the stun lock, I'm putting on that ridiculously powerful dagger. So, my apologies, dude, if you're watching this. It wasn't intentional. So this guy's grave lording, which tells you a lot. And he's got an elemental claymore too, which tells you even more. That's not even mentioning the fact he's wearing both Havel's and Black Knight armor. But I don't think he's earned it, because I don't know, his life doesn't seem too high. Oh, it doesn't matter though. Oh, I love Dark Souls, it's so funny. This guy needs to learn what poise is and how it will save him from frustration later on in the game. And that looks like somebody we've fought before, that wanderer with the Black Knight sword. So he was probably looking for his buddy. And, yeah. Oh, you gotta love it. Interesting. I wonder what this one's about. Maybe I've fought this person a couple times. Ooh. Oh, that is a painful Zwei. Goodness me. It's surprising how many PvPers you find in the depths. I didn't expect people to come here with high level gear at all. I didn't expect it at all. But people do. That person looked like, is it Rosie? That YouTuber that was a girl but then a guy and then quit, and then I have no idea because I never really watched them. But they got a lot of subscribers, so they were doing something right. Oof. So this is always an interesting combination. When you've got a spellcaster at range, you know, suppressing you while his buddy is just keeping up pressure, that can be a really tricky fight. Fortunately for me, he had no life and my critical did massive damage just then. But I believe that this is the last video of the series, guys. So, you know, I'm just grateful for everybody that watched. I hope you enjoyed my frolics at low level, and I'm hoping that you're looking forward to some other series that will begin. I've got a couple of ideas that I'm working on. I'm not saying anything just yet, but just know that Dark Souls will forever be a part of this channel. And let's see what happens here. So I went for the setup parry, it didn't work. So I go for the backstab. This guy is so armoured and has so much defense that I start chaining him. And then the big rat gets involved, which kind of fucks up my chain, which is annoying. But what can you do? Such as Dark Souls gets the third backstab, weaning him down gradually. I remember this one. Gets the chain, the second chain. Getting very close to showing this person that backstabs are a dangerous commodity. And oh, he goes for the swing. Oh, he gets stunned, you see that? He has all that poise, and that rat just broke it. And there you go. Dark Souls in a nutshell, guys. Thank you for watching, and you take care now.